Hey everyone, this is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching with today's video. I'm going to be talking about orphan fabrics. We always talk about the orphan blocks that are left. Well, what about the orphan fabrics? You're looking at one of our projects that we've just finished, and it's my sister-in-law Molly and I. We're both quilters, and we sort of started working together, and it's working real well. We're having a good time, especially working on these projects. This all started when the mask phase stopped, and she wasn't making masks anymore, but she had already pre-cut plenty to make many masks because she really had done that for a lot of people. So she started thinking, what could she make? And so she thought about people she knew. And so this is the first thing she came up with. And it's just taking all of those masks and having them cut, make sure they're cut to the same size, and made a throw, or it could be even small enough to be a lap blanket for somebody, and this is already made for someone. That's one way that she figured out how to use it. And she had a great variety of materials. And if you can look at this one, this is the second project. This is for two little boys. And she had all the pieces laying out, and she said, well, I think I'm going to put some gray in between. It'll look good. And when she did that, she discovered it looked like roads. So she went ahead and put those in there, then handed it off to me to work on the quilting. And so I came up with names for some of the stories, like bunny blocks, like Bunny Business, the Cupcake Shop, Reindeer Ranch, and funny things, and then went in there and hand stitched a few lines for like real streets. And I have full day parking, and I have 2-hour parking, and it's just so cute because I can see these two little boys, who are now 2, sitting down to play with the matchbox cards. And we had enough material left that I made a bag for the quilt and for their cars. It's 20 by 24. I looked at a pillowcase, made it shorter, and then fixed a tie at the top that slides through, and then they can tie it shut at the top so things don't fall out. But this was the second thing that we came up with. And my orphan fabric goes back to this quilt. You might have seen it. It was on video 135, and it was just made with one sized block. It was 4 by 5 3/4. You'd have the white one, and then you'd have the red one, and you'd sew them together. And if you remember, so I can get this where you can see it. There it is. There were the two pieces, and they were turned sideways. All right, and then when you got ready to sew them together, you did this first line where my thumb is all the way down. That was your main part. And then you had all this end over here on the outside. And somebody had recently then told me, or I'd seen, well, go ahead and put another seam on there before you cut it apart. And then come up and cut between the two lines you've made. And you have the piece you need for your quilt. And then you have an extra block. And this was part of my collection that I cut off of those. And I'm saying just part of it. And I said, boy, that is one big pile of orphan pieces even. So then I'm just going to turn around here. I said, what can I do with these? And here's how far I've gotten so far. These are part of those pieces that I had. I haven't made any more pieces. I'm still using what was on there. So this was an exceptional quilt, I guess, to have this. And I didn't throw it away. But I'm thinking it's going to be a really neat red, white, and blue quilt. And I think I'm going to put sashing through the middle between them. But then I've got some of the other parts left that I did. And I can use those as a border on the outside. So today was just a little short video on ideas that you could do with that orphan fabric you've got left, because quilters hate to waste it, and they try not to store it and to keep it and let it pile up, but sometimes it does. This is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. If you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe, and like. Thank you for watching.